budget on our initial opioid payout, we set aside $50,000 for this specific project. So what we would have to do is, I'd have to get with Kathy and reallocate the rest of the budget accordingly, essentially.
But my point is can we, the opioid and the rescue plan are two different funds.
Right, I know.
But we
Yeah.
can use, to get the whole amount of money, my concern is the county's budget as we move forward for different things that come up during the budget year. If we can use this American Rescue money and the opioid money, both, but what I'm trying to get at is, instead of taking, let's say we have, what do we have, Kathy, 8.1 million?
We gotta keep this moving, guys.
I understand, but I'm trying to, I wanna vote on this, I am in favor of it, but I wanna see if we can't move some funds around to sustain our county budget.
Kathy, what do we have in the opioid fund?
It's approximately,
200,000.
yeah, it's approximately 250,000.
We've already got the 250, right?
Yes.
So why don't we just fund the whole damn thing out of the opioid money?
Well, I have one other
Well,
question.
you need, I would say, keep some money aside as far as maintenance in
Well-
there too.
Not to interrupt, but how much do you expect to get next year
Another 250,000.
and the following year?
250,000.
So, there's going to be more coming in to this, and I can't
And I,
Plus-
dream of the
some
maintenance
settlements.
costs being that great.
right.
Well, and I'd like to see money go towards preventative plans and education and different things like that too.
Right, but we'd still leave
So-
110,000, if we took the 140 out of that, we'd still leave 110,000 in that fund with another 250 to be added to it
Right.
next
Yeah.
year. And at the end of the day, if you burn 20,000 a year maintaining that, I think that's probably get 20 to 30,000 a year is gonna maintain that. So that's gonna leave you with 220,000 a year to come up with other programs out of.
And here's just another side of this as well. Myself and or Judge Zabreski will be back with you again with our drug court program,
Yeah,
because we can
exactly.
choose those funds if you're talking
Exactly.
about it.
And I've
And
already
if there are any other
personally
programs,
donated to this.
I mean, what we need is, and we won't be able to do it here, this is for another day. It'd be wonderful if we just had a substance use disorder treatment hospital,
Right.
you know, inpatient
There's
facility.
a
There's
lot of
a
things.
These are like
but
millions of
This
dollars.
is a start.
Yeah, but right now, we are the treatment program in the county.
Kathy?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you guys looking at grant funding? Or are you only looking at county
You
funding?
know, we're just looking at the opioid money because it has to be used for opioid-related purposes. So we haven't looked for any other grant funding. I mean, if it was out there, that'd be great, but
Because I think in November, we sent Judge to rescue, along with some other people, a CDBG grant that would have been perfect for this. And would also build a hospital and also do all these other things that you're wanting to do. But we got no response, like none. Nobody replied that, hey, we've got this in the background, hey, we want this. Since this came on the agenda, I've also asked Tabitha to look into other grants, and she's already found 4 other ones that would have fit for any of these things to be completed, and probably give extra money for employees, for maintenance, and all of that, above and beyond the 140 you're asking for, was my only comment.
Right, we're past that for this year,
Right,
and so, and we need to be mindful of these coming up. But I think we need to address the issue that's in front of us, we need to get this moving, and the request is for 140,000. We have identified that we can do that out of the opioid money. That is a legal thing, and in my mind, this is the tip of the iceberg. I think down the road, I think, like you said, I think we need treatment, but I think we also need follow-up, we need sober living, we need long-term programs, that once these people have sought treatment, that they have an outlet for safety beyond. We have a lot of things we can look at. We've got one item in front of us, I'd like to see us move forward and take action.
I'll make a motion to approve the donation amount of not to exceed the 140,000 to the Wet Pine Youth Center, Inc.
And that would be out of the opioid money?
Yes.
Is that your motion?
Yes.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Well, I'll second it, but I still,
It's
can
a
I ask how much
start.
money we have
in what?
in the opioid account, we understand.
250.
How much do we have in our general fund, how much do we have?
In contingency?
Right,
420.
420. Mine is drawing down because we have another large amount of money coming up. I wanna make sure we have the money for yours and have
This
the
is
money for
strictly
that
out of the
also. I'm for
opioid.
both of them, so I'll second it with that.
This is strictly out of the opioid.
Yeah, this will come strictly from the opioid, cause it's got 250, so.
I'll just, because I'm in favor of second.
We got a second, further discussion? Call for the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried, so ordered,
Thank
you
you
are
so
taken
much.
care
Good
of.
step in the right
Thank
direction.
you.
Hey, thanks so much, you guys, appreciate it.
Continue this
Sure.
conversation.
Oh, there's a lot more we wanna do with the opioid money, we'll be back, we have some suggestions down the line.
Good.
Thanks.
All
All
right.
right, thank
Looking
you.
forward to it, thanks.
On the next one. I'll have to do that,
You wanna move back to this one? No, you want the fine arts. No, that's the roof. That's,
Because we got
yeah, and it's. Section 3, item E, because we've got a lot of folks in the room for that, discussion for possible action. Approval of resolution 2023-01 to utilize an amount not to exceed $175,000 from the general fund contingency to provide contribution to the White Pine Community Choir Association for renovations at the Centennial Fine Arts Center. Kathy, do you have a little information you would like to share with us on this?
So in your backup, they have done many projects and they've gotten lots of support from the city of Ely and other things. They are also a 501c3 and they are working on the seismic stabilization of the building and the roof. Currently, those are the two projects they're working on. And there's a shortfall, of course, because of the economics and everything going on in the world. They just don't have enough money to complete both projects. The shortfall in total is $175,000. 95 of that is for the roof and 85 of that is for the stabilization. Their future plans for the building is for the community. They want to do conference spacings, arts and cultural, heritage, tourism, education, rentals. Lori is here from the choir, if you have any questions directly for her, but that is all I have. Now, I can do this two ways. I wrote on this resolution contingency, but I do have $2 million in ARPA funds that just showed up for this year.
Yeah, so we did just receive $2 million in rescue plan money, and we can pull from that.
Absolutely.
This and leave our contingency alone, which would definitely be my preference.
Right.
Yeah. So, does anybody have any questions, for the representatives from the Community Choir Association? Or does anybody have any questions for our finance or legal, or comments?
Can we just get updates, occasional updates?
Absolutely, absolutely. You can. Sorry.
State your name for the record.
Lori Drew, I'm with the White Pine Community Choir Association. We'd be happy to give tours. Right now, we have Shell Creek Construction. They're working on the ADA accessibility project right now. They're in the building now. We've got a great big hole in the floor. So we're moving forward in all of our little projects. We've got it divided up into several different, this is a long-term project. That building needs a lot of work, but what we're asking for from you is for the seismic stabilization and the roof. You know, if you don't have a roof, you don't have a building for very long. So, and we've been trying to hang on to that building as long as we could till we get the proper funding to get the roof installed. So this,
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, so Shell Creek Construction is your general contractor that's overseeing,
For the ADA that's going on right now, we
Okay.
have two different projects that are
Okay.
going in conjunction.
okay, and this is, SHPO has approved of all this stuff and they're doing everything,
Yes,
Yeah.
SHPO, and then we also have funding from Brownfields, the
yes.
federal asbestos abatement, so we'll get rid of all the asbestos out of that building. That's all part of this project. We're just a little short because we started this before COVID, You know, what COVID did to all of us, it delayed everything, and then the prices went up.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're here. We thought we had it, but we need a little more.
Very good. Any other questions or comments?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the $175,000 for the Fine Arts Building.
And you'd like to use that from the ARPA fund?
Yes.
All right, we have a motion to support the $175,000, utilizing the ARPA funds. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
A motion, do I have a second? Or I've got a second. Further discussion? Call for the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried so ordered.
Thank you
We're
so
done.
much. Call
Thank-
me anytime, I'll give you a tour.
Excellent.
Bill
Thank
gets a
you.
great tour too.
This has been a Georgetown production. George Chatchis reporting.